Hey Cancer, how are you? This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage Soul Tarot. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. My guides always say to pick up your messages. So if you're new to me, I am a clairvoyant, very clairvoyant person, and I am a shamanic soul energy healer. And I am based in Vermont, but I have jumped out into what I think is going to be a year or nearly a year, a spiritual walkabout. So I'll talk about that in a minute, but let's jump into your cards. All the links for me are below, okay? So, Cancer, there's something going on with you, clearly, and your partner. So the oracle card that came out for you is Her Grace. And then that's from the Journey of Love. And then for you, from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. The shamanic aspect of your journey this week is about the sacred gatherer. Look at that. Do you see the heart chakra indicated at the third eye? And clearly chosen for you about the season. It's very interesting to me. A lot of sacred vision coming to you. You are gathering together your sacred tools and your sacred ability to have vision and to use those supplies and that sustenance that you're able to gather together. And what you're gathering is grace. And it's literally the grace of the sacred feminine in some way, because the very first card that's the theme of the reading that comes from my guides is the High Priestess. Do you see the flow? Do you see the water element in the top left of the card? Look at the sacred orb that's in her shield and the disc at the heart chakra. The High Priestess in this deck is known as the guardian of the gateway. She is the guardian of the sacred truth, sacred laws of the universe, the secret understanding of sacred law, and that which is guarded and held within the temple. So that's what my guides want to talk to you about, and it has everything to do with those oracle cards. So let's take a look at what's going on for you. And look, here's the next card. All the readings this week, my guides have been speaking about the Scorpio new moon that we're in. So there you are, sitting there in disguise, in control of the water element within you. And you look and you peer outward into your life in order to understand the illusions that control what other people see and understand about you. And in the story, it's about this woman who is the sacred hag. She is in disguise for a purpose, and it's to be able to understand if the people who request love and partnership from her, can we have some of your water element? She just peers into them, and in a way straight through them. And generally speaking, the story is about the choice of sacred lovers. She is actually the sacred goddess of sovereignty. And it is only those who are able to see through the illusion and apply love and offer love in order to perceive and be blessed with and gather to themselves a new beginning. So there's something deep happening for you on the Scorpio new moon. And, you're able to sort of just stand in your place and peer right into and right through your lover or your potential love aspect. Fascinating story about who is going to be able to get access to her grace, because they have to stand at the gateway of the High Priestess in order to, okay, something's peeking out there, we're going to put that down, in order to bring forward this transformation. So my guides are basically saying, anybody who wants anything to do with you, they got to come and have an audience with the High Priestess so that they can show themselves to be worthy of you, so that the secrets you hold within yourself are willing and able to be not just revealed, but well received because of the grace that you're carrying, because of the spiritual gifts that you're carrying, gathering. In a sense, that's the Nine of Cups. You basically are all good within yourself. You have the tools that you need. You've literally gathered them to you, and it is literally destiny coming forward. So It's interesting to me, and there's a jewel encrusted barrel of water at the side of this woman who is also a seer, and your partner has the card for the seer. Something going on between you and your sacred partnership. So it's destiny. This woman was able to see destiny and name the lineage of kings that were coming forward into the realm. So it is about having the abundance that you need. And in a traditional tarot, Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment, in a sense. Nine of Pentacles, wish fulfillment. It's about standing in your own abundance because of what you've gathered to yourself. So what's coming. Here's what is next. Look at that, Queen of Pentacles, sitting in her starry loom, weaving together the strings of destiny of her sacred lineage. So we have two indications here of sacred lineage. And what's interesting is that the goddess of sovereignty, in a sense, her job is to be in this kind of combat. Okay, that's the Five of Wands. It's about sacred combat, passion, about the deep knowing of the new moon in Scorpio pathway. And so you don't get access to her knowing and to her life energy, metaphorically, if you know what I mean. So there's all kinds of destiny coming forward for you, and it's coming straight out of the sacred temple of Solomon, which is where the high priestess stands. So you are standing before her, gathering together her grace, because it is your destiny, because of the sovereignty of your lineage. It's fascinating to me. So, let's see, gosh, there's so much here. Which way? Okay, Spirit wants me to take this one off the top. So, here we go. Look at that. Six of Wands. Victory in your life, victory in love, and in this deck, it's about coming through a rite of passage. And that's what this reading's about so far. Right? So we see you looking into the mysteries of the universe and being able to having come through a rite of passage. You have the tools you need because you have gathered them to you in a very sacred way. And now you're able to work with the aspects of creation here in this planet, but it's coming straight out of the sacred realm. You're literally connected to the universe, I believe, in this way, through the sacred temple. You work together with the guides, using the tools that you've gathered to yourself. Victory. A new foundation. Okay? Six of Wands, people talk about victory and love and all those kinds of things. So here's the next thing coming forward. That is, another foundation. That is the Six of Swords. So this process that is happening, and I love that it's aligned with the sacred goddess of sovereignty. It was the clarity that people needed to come through in order to allow them to move on. And in her story, what happened was there was a man who was able to come into this sacred foundation of clarity, move his life forward by virtue of seeing the secrets of the high priestess and the guardian of the gateway and the goddess of sovereignty. And that young man who approached her was able to see her. The disguise fell away. She was a beautiful young maiden. They married and they became the sacred sovereigns. It's an interesting story given everything that's coming out here. So for you, Cancer, on the heart soul chakra, look at that. Sacred, okay, here's what my guides are saying. The highest order of sacred male energy, the Sun card, coming through a transformation, being marked and tattooed, coming into the full light of your transformation, the effects of the transformation, all the bounty that comes with being able to stand in the full light of the sun. And we see apples standing on sacred ground of the ancients. Destiny is turning. The protector of sacred lore, the Sun card in this deck. Very interesting. And so the next thing is the first card of the major arcana. That is the Magician. Again, sacred male energy. In this deck, it's the decider of will. Do you see how activated this person is in the will center? So there's magic coming forward because of this transformation that's going on. It's very interesting to me that the magician is here along with the high priestess. We'll have to see what else comes out. So when you are, okay, my guides are talking about when you are manifesting your ability to gather to you the tools that you need and to stand in your place, solid in your understanding of yourself, and requiring others to stand at the sacred gateway in order to have access to you. It's something, a very major shift and change has happened because you are not the one being required to ask for entry. You are the one who is requiring someone else to ask for entry through the sacred gateway to have access to you. And in this reading, that's what the conflict is, okay? Combat is skill, 5 of Wands. Passionate combat about your identity. And those who are able to see you and willing to do what it takes to get access to you. It's a very mystical process. It is your destiny. You are part of a sacred lineage. And we have 2 rites of passage here. So something major going on. And of course, look, it's bringing to you a new soul journey. And there you are. Kundalini awakening, literally stepping through the portal of this moon cycle to go out into the universe. Return to the source energy, turn your destiny, and collect a profound healing, a new pathway. In traditional tarot, this is the Fool card. In this deck, it's about the Kundalini awakening that causes one to jump off the cliff in connection with the universe to start a new cycle. Really exciting. And it's magic that's leading you to this place. And of course, it brings to you a massive shift and change. This is the changer of truth. So we have the guardian of truth standing here, guarding access to you while you go through this cycle so you can make the decision you need to take a great leap in order to change your truth and destroy that which does not serve your life. Again, sacred male energy, bringing the strike. Just see the sacred spiral at the heart chakra. It may not be an easy change that you're bringing, but you are the one bringing it because it's destiny. And we see whatever's not working for you falling out of the sacred vessel. Whoops. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, they want to talk to you about that. And there's the sacred vessel, right? So it's not you that's fallen out, but you are no longer willing to accept which does not come to you spiritually appropriate. Yeah, all the due respect, all that kind of stuff. You're cutting that out of your life. You're bringing the tower down, which is what happens, right? So there were 4 suitors that came forward for this woman. 3 of them ran away because they didn't have what it takes. Very interesting. So let's take a look at your partner. Your partner, you're gathering together your sacred vision in all the ways I just talked about. And it is about gathering grace, sacred grace, gathering to yourself in order to have this vision at the third eye. Your partner, if you're involved in a love relationship, okay, my guides are talking about a couple things this month. So obviously we're going to talk now about love aspect, and we started here. The way it's changing in your life because of the sovereignty that you have, under the cover, so to speak, of this illusion that people might have when they look at you. So gathering together the grace of this ability to stand in your life in this way, knowing you're sacred sovereign, your partner is somehow a sacred seer. So you're connected with someone who is a visionary of some kind. And it coming out of the realm of the ancients, because this is the mystical shaman oracle. Very interesting. They have a lot of leadership capacity. And this person, in whatever way they're doing it, and they're looking at you, they're watching your cycle. Someone is able to see you. And this person has made a choice, or they are in the process of making a choice, or they are pursuing a choice that they made in their own life because of their sacred vision. So I love that this is kind of looking at you. There's something beautiful going on. So, okay, let me put these down. Oh, look. Oh, I just noticed. Look what's at the bottom of the deck. There you go. Right? Realm. That's the Hierophant, the high priest. Okay, so let me see if I can show this to you. This sacred knowledge that this seer person has, this ability, brings to them some kind of divine inspiration that causes them to make a choice in their life. It has something to do with earth energy. It might be an earth venture. And it's growing their garden. Whoops, sorry. Spirit just knocked it right out of my hand. So there's something really mystical going on with this person. And they've had to make a choice. It's based on their sacred vision and their understanding of mystical knowledge. There's the high priestess and there's the high priest. Okay, so there's something going on. You both know. So for your partner, 2 of Wands, they're doing their best to balance themselves because they stepped out on a great journey. This is the moment. It's indicative of the moment that they made the choice to hold the world in their hands and step out into a great journey. This is about balancing, but it's the moment of making the choice, and it brings new growth to them. And they step through this gateway with flowers on it into the sacred water. I think that's where they're going, to have this journey. And it's really interesting because it's aligned with the Hierophant. I really like it. And so, 4 of Swords. It may have been challenging for them. They may have been through some battles, but they are going deep into the sacred realm as a seer in their own life. And they are resting in this place. And this journey that they're on comes from this place of, okay, my guides are saying the word pensive knowing. 3 Swords, perhaps they've got heartbreak in their past. Those are hung on the wall. And the sword of clarity for their internal journey is right there. It's really interesting how this is playing out. So something about the way they left out, because of the sacred vision, they went deeply inward. My guides are saying more so, it's bringing them more deeply inward, deeper into inspiration because of the journey that they're on. And they made a commitment, they made a choice into the sacred knowledge that they hold, and they stepped out. Yeah. So when we have the 2 of Wands and the 4 of Swords, there are factors of this journey that they are in the process of not only coming to terms with, but learning how to balance, learning how to manage. So let's see what's else here. Yeah, and you know what? It's been a little challenging for them too. They are freeing themselves from some anxiety. I think when they left out, or as they're leaping out, it's terrifying on some level. And so part of what they're doing, part of this balancing, is to go through the process of not being bound up in their fears. Very interesting. And it's part of the decision that they're making. And it's a challenge for them. And they're more earth energy, Virgo energy, the hermit, somebody who goes deep inside their own wisdom to connect with their own guides, to shine a light on their own pathway, to come to decision making and clarity about themselves. So look, and it's looking into the anxiety. Really interesting. So, this person making this choice. Okay, my guides are saying despite their fears. And they may not know what the journey's bringing to them, but they know they've made the choice and they're going. So they're going to have to free themselves. That's what it is. Thank you, Spirit. They know they have to free themselves from whatever anxiety they might have in order to understand not just how to free themselves, but the deeper aspects of what it means to be bound in fear. Thank you, Spirit. And there you go. The sacred lovers. So this person is taking this journey Okay, so my guys are talking about, yes, love, bond, sacred knowing about each other, those who are in sovereign rule in themselves and in their own life coming forward. There's something about, it's interesting that these are, let's see what's next, connected, yeah. So they're using all their strength. When it comes to this sacred love bond, it does bring them perhaps some anxiety, and they're just looking deep. They know it's there. Um, and it's just part of the factors of their journey. I think my guides are telling me to get one more. Yeah. Yeah, despite all these things, they decided, so there's the Two of Wands. Despite this, and that's the choice, I think, that they had to make, they stepped out on their journey because they knew they had to go and do whatever it is they're doing. And in some way, we see the balance having happened. They stand on the shore, they made a decision, they're waiting for their ship to come in, they're going on some kind of a journey. And they still feel very connected to you, and the connection with you is part of what gives them the strength to leap out and do what they're doing. Really interesting. Thank you, Spirit. So let's pick from the bag of runes. Please leave me some messages. What's going on? The two of you are traveling so deep. And you are sacred sovereigns. We see it on both sides of the aisle, my guides are saying. But each of you involved in your own solitary journey. But there's something about the connection that the two of you have. Ooh, it's part of the learning. Part of the learning is between the seer and the gatherer. Something mystical. Mystical story coming forward. Sacred lovers on some level. Whether it's in your life, thank you, Spirit. I'll show you this in a minute. Whether it's in your life, at your work, with a family member, there's something, some kind of sacred lineage that the two of you are both bonded to coming forward very clearly. And that is the rune for disruption. Isn't that interesting? So all of these sacred disruptions that you have to learn to move beyond. You have to learn the purpose of those things in your life and be able to move beyond them, because it's a sacred gift, because it causes you to shift and grow and change and come into your strength. And not just for yourself, but with your bond with each other and your bond with the sacred, which is where the relationship, broadly termed, my guides are saying, again, could be anybody, right? Could be your cousin, could be your best friend, could actually literally be a lover for those of you who are mated. But you're in connection with somebody in your life, Cancer, that brings these things to the surface for you as a way of bringing forward your sacred vision. And it's the magic of the moment. It's the grace that you're gathering. I love it. So let's take a look. It's the rune for disruption. It's very, very interesting that this is coming forward with all this sort of sacred change and movement and visioning and lineage, and it's the challenges that bring you to the place that you need to be in order to gather grace and let go of that which doesn't serve you. So this is Hagalaz. It is about disruption. It's the rune of elemental power, or the god of thunder and lightning and change. Thor's hammer, right? Ooh, something going on. Really sacred. So this is about change, freedom, invention, and liberation are all attributes of the rune Hagalaz. Drawing it indicates a pressing need within the psyche to break free from constricting identification with material reality and to experience the world of the archetypical mind. Cancer, wow. And it's common. My guides are saying things like, and bless the Scorpio new moon, because the deepest aspect of the water signs when it comes to going into the deep in order to be released, in order to bring forward your fears so you can change them, and it's all right here. Really interesting. So the rune of elemental disruption, of events that seem to be totally beyond your control, Hagalaz has only an upright position, and yet it always operates through reversal. See that? This is powerful. A lot of power in this moon cycle for you. So when you draw this rune, expect disruption because it is the great awakener. Although the form the awakening takes may vary, perhaps you will experience a gradual feeling of coming to your senses as though you are emerging from a deep sleep. And then again, the onset of power may be such as to rip away. Thank you, Spirit. Hang on, lost my spot. All right, let's see. Yeah, the onset of power may be such as to rip away the fabric of what you previously knew as your reality, your security, your understanding of yourself, your work, your relationships, and your beliefs. Like Big Bang kind of change. It's awesome. Disruption takes many forms. A relationship may fail, plans go awry, a source of supply dry. The will you have funded until now in your life provides support and guidance at a time when everything you've taken for granted is being challenged. This is another of the cycle runes, and the term radical discontinuity best describes the action of Hagalaz, and it's most forceful. The more severe the disruption in your life, the more significant and timely the requirements for your growth. The universe and your own soul are demanding that you do indeed grow. Cancer, wow, amazing. And you know what I love about this is, when you allow yourself to be activated by this kind of a cycle and you don't fight against it, but you come into some real clarity and knowing about what it's about, it's the action that's been leading up to this that's causing you to be in alignment with somebody like this who's able to make sacred choices in their own life because of their own sacred vision and go through their own challenges, whatever they might be, to come into sacred alignment for themselves and be on their own journey. And that's a fabulous way to be connected with someone who's in their own strength in that way. So Cancer might look a little foobar. There's definitely some interesting illusions going on, and you're busting through them. You're just looking straight into somebody. You're standing in your place, you know exactly who you are, and you're just waiting to find out if that person has what it takes. Really interesting. So Cancer, make sure you remember that you're manifesting magic in the full light of the power of the male energy of the sun to take this leap of faith, jump off a cliff, and bring forward the change in your own life in connection with the universe. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I really love the way your readings have been bringing forward the change in your own life, Cancer. And, when you step in your power, my guides are showing me a picture of, who is it? Is it Neptune? The sacred male god of the ocean. I think it's Neptune. I can see the vision, standing there, holding the trident. There's something about that. I'm not able to pluck the words out of my mouth. But I know you know what I'm talking about. So enjoy the new moon. Something fabulous is being initiated. Whatever you can dream of, whatever you feel is your sacred lineage, whatever you would like to gain serenity over in your life, the moment is literally right now in the days surrounding this new moon, because it's literally bringing you into a cliff jumping moment for a new soul journey. So go deep into that Scorpio energy and allow yourself to imagine what comes forward for you, because you are manifesting a great healing and a new soul cycle. I think that's part of this. So gang, thank you so much. If you're new, thanks for being here. Thanks for picking up your messages. I invite everybody to click the subscribe button and the bell and all that stuff. Okay, gang, click that like button. That helps my channel. And I appreciate it. And I'll see you next week. God is willing. Talk to you soon.